I'm Lachie Onslow. I fly Drop Bear, which is an L39. It's jet powered, runs on Jet A fuel. The fuel is stored up in the rear fuselage. Typically, I've got about 80, 90, 100 gallons of fuel on board. In order to get in, the steps, you've got steps on the side here, which you just push down like that. This opens and that comes out. Foot can go in there. There's also opening steps like that. In order to open the canopy, it's usually locked. The canopy release is you push that little tag down and lift that, and then it can go back in and be stored like that, and then the canopy is able to be lifted. Okay, once the canopy is open, it just rolls all the way to the end. In order to get me out, you've got two choices. You can either, there's a latch on the top, on the chest, there's a latch around the waist, and there's the two latch straps that go through the legs. You can also, in order to open those, it's just a matter of pulling that mechanism there. You can either, over here, there's a parachute release, because the parachute is tied to the seat. You can push that forward and it releases the parachute, but it will be really heavy to pull me out with the parachute attached. So probably a better option to just get me out of the parachute. There we go. This is the throttle. If the throttle, in the event of an accident, if it's still open, it's just a matter of bringing it back to here, and there's this little tag that you push forward and the throttle goes back to shut off. There's also the actual fuel emergency shut off just there, which is, you just pull this out of the way and this goes back. To bring the power, shut down on the power, it's on the left hand side of the cockpit, and it's these switches here which just basically bring every switch backwards. That's all you have to remember. So if it's forwards, it's on, backwards, it's off. And that's pretty much it. If it's on its back, grab it wherever you think you can get it back on its upright again. It doesn't really matter, it's already damaged, so don't worry about damaging it anymore. We'll just get it back. So in Drop Bear, the batteries and the oxygen are in the nose. We're not using oxygen to race, so we're not filling that, but we're just using nitrogen. But the batteries, in order to get into, you have to undo 4 screws at the bottom of this nose cowling. Just lifts up, and the battery's in and out like that. So in order to, would be like that, but it's just a matter of screwing it off, battery's out. If the engine is on fire, you can either shoot in the intake duct to get it into the engine, or come around the back and go up the tailpipe as long as the engine is turned off. You can also, there's a few little holes that you can actually get to get foam in, but basically it's the front and the back. Intake and exhaust are really the only places you can get foam into the engine.